In the fast-paced world of cryptocurrency, where projects often rise and fall in the blink of an eye, only those that continue to adapt and expand manage to capture long-term attention. Pi Network, a project that has generated both excitement and skepticism since its inception, is steadily carving out its place by focusing on practical improvements to its ecosystem rather than hype alone. The recent introduction of Linux node software, along with the imminent rollout of a major protocol upgrade, signals that the team is intent on building infrastructure that can support real growth. For both developers and investors, these moves suggest Pi is not just holding on, it is evolving into something stronger. The Pi ecosystem has been steadily pushing the boundaries of what its network can achieve, and in recent days, the team behind the project has taken another significant step forward. Alongside preparing for a crucial upgrade to its protocol, Pi has extended the reach of its node software, making it available not only for Windows and Mac but now also for Linux users. This development might sound technical at first glance, but in practice it represents a deepening of Pi's commitment to decentralization, accessibility, and scalability as it continues to mature into a more robust and versatile ecosystem. Until this point, the majority of participants who wanted to run Pi nodes were limited to 2 operating systems. Many developers and contributors who primarily rely on Linux environments had to resort to crafting custom node solutions, a process that often introduced complications, made updates slower, and sometimes created inconsistencies across the network. By officially releasing a Linux-compatible version of the node software, the Pi team has solved this long-standing gap. Now, instead of relying on patched-together custom builds, developers and partners can use standardized software, which in turn allows smoother upgrades, more reliable maintenance, and an overall more cohesive system. This might not immediately result in direct mining rewards for those running Linux nodes, but it is a meaningful contribution to Pi's broader health, resilience, and growth potential. The timing of this move is especially relevant, given that the project is simultaneously preparing to roll out what has been described as the most ambitious upgrade in its history, the leap from Protocol version 19 to version 23. Drawing inspiration from the Stellar network, this new version is designed to introduce broader functionality and tighter control mechanisms, reinforcing the network's ability to adapt to user demands and scale sustainably. Like most large-scale blockchain upgrades, the rollout will not happen all at once. Instead, the team has chosen to implement it in stages, beginning with test environments and eventually moving on to the main network. This staggered approach is a safeguard to minimize disruption, since protocol transitions can sometimes cause temporary outages or conflicts with connected services. For the Pi community, the phased upgrade means the first noticeable changes will be happening on testnet 1, where new containers for community nodes are already being deployed. There may be some minor interruptions during this stage, but the intention is to identify and address issues before extending the update to testnet 2 and then, finally, the mainnet itself. Once this process concludes, the entire Pi ecosystem will be aligned on Protocol version 23, creating a foundation for new features and greater network stability. Naturally, there could also be some short-lived outages among centralized exchanges as they adjust their systems to remain compatible with the updated protocol, but such hiccups are common during blockchain upgrades and are generally resolved quickly. One of the areas that the upgrade is expected to touch, either directly or indirectly, is the project's ongoing struggle with its KYC, or Know Your Customer, procedures. These processes have been a point of debate and sometimes frustration within the community, as many users feel that the system for verifying identities has not been as smooth or transparent as it could be. While the details of how Protocol version 23 will influence KYC have not been fully disclosed, there are hints that it will help address some of these concerns. Given how central the KYC issue is to Pi's long-term vision, it is likely that this aspect will be revisited in more depth by both the team and the community in the near future. While the technical side of Pi's evolution is crucial, investors and traders have also been keeping a close eye on how these developments translate into the performance of Pi's native token, PI. In a market environment where many altcoins struggled to maintain value over the past week, PI managed to stand out by posting gains. The token rose more than 5% compared to its position at the same time last week, moving up to around $0.37 as of the latest trading sessions. This rebound comes just days after the asset had tumbled to a fresh all-time low of 33 cents on August 26, as tracked by CoinGecko. The fact that PI has recovered about 10% from that low point offers a small but encouraging sign for its supporters. Positive news surrounding the network's software expansion and the anticipated protocol upgrade likely helped to create a sense of renewed confidence. However, markets are rarely straightforward, and analysts are cautioning that the token could face selling pressure in the immediate short term. This is largely due to the token unlocks that are scheduled for early September. On both September 2nd and September 6th, significant amounts of PI will be released into circulation, which may encourage some holders to sell and realize gains, thereby putting downward pressure on the price. Nonetheless, once these unlock events pass, the intensity of such pressures is expected to decline, at least temporarily. If the broader crypto market stabilizes and PI continues to demonstrate technical progress, it is possible that PI could find firmer footing and perhaps even strengthen further. What makes the situation particularly interesting is that PI is at a crossroads where both its technology and its token are under scrutiny. On one hand, the team is working to refine the ecosystem by improving compatibility, expanding infrastructure, and addressing governance and compliance concerns. On the other hand, traders and investors are testing the token's resilience in a volatile environment where news and sentiment can quickly sway prices. Beyond the price action, though, the larger story is about PI's continued evolution from a novel concept into a more mature and structured network. The addition of Linux node software is not simply about catering to a new set of users. It is about deepening the network's decentralization and making sure that a broader range of contributors can participate meaningfully. Looking ahead, PI's trajectory will likely depend on a combination of factors: how smoothly the protocol upgrade is executed, whether the KYC issues are effectively addressed, how the token market reacts to unlock events, and how engaged the community remains throughout these changes. The crypto industry has no shortage of projects that promised revolutionary change only to fade into obscurity. PI, however, seems determined to prove that it can survive beyond the initial wave of excitement by delivering incremental, concrete improvements. As with any project, there are uncertainties, and PI is no exception. Yet with each step forward, it strengthens the foundation upon which its future will rest. The expansion to Linux, the ambitious protocol upgrade, and the steady if cautious rebound of its token suggest that PI is not a fleeting experiment but a network striving to earn its place in the crowded crypto landscape. For those watching closely, the next few weeks could be pivotal in determining whether PI transitions from being a curiosity into a truly sustainable ecosystem.